The neuroscience of creativity, how art changes the brain. There is a quiet revolution happening inside the human brain every time a person creates something. Whether it is painting, sketching, or even simply arranging colors on a canvas, the brain is not just observing the experience, it is actively reshaping itself. For a long time, creativity was seen as something mysterious, almost magical. But modern neuroscience tells a different story. Creativity is not a gift that only a few people have. It is a biological process deeply rooted in how the brain adapts, learns, and reorganizes itself. This ability of the brain to change its structure and function is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means that the brain is not fixed. It is constantly rewiring itself based on what we repeatedly do, think, and feel. Every time you engage in a creative act, new neural pathways begin to form. The more you repeat that activity, the stronger those pathways become. When you paint, several areas of the brain activate at the same time. The visual cortex processes color, shape, and light. The motor cortex controls the movement of the hand and brush. The prefrontal cortex helps with planning, decision-making, and imagination. Even emotional centers of the brain, such as the limbic system, become involved as feelings are translated into visual expression. This is why painting often feels immersive. It is not just an activity of the hand, it is a full brain experience. As you continue creating, something important begins to happen. The brain starts to prefer this state of focused attention. It shifts away from scattered thinking and repetitive stress loops. In neuroscience terms, this involves a reduction in activity in the brain's default mode network, the system responsible for overthinking, rumination, and self-critical thoughts. In simple terms, creativity gives the mind a different place to go. Instead of replaying worries, the brain begins to engage with immediate sensory experience, the texture of paint, the movement of color, the rhythm of brushstrokes. This shift creates a calming effect similar to meditation. Over time, repeated creative practice can strengthen connections between different brain regions. This improves cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift perspective, solve problems, and adapt to new situations. In other words, creativity does not only produce art. It builds a more flexible and resilient mind. There is also an emotional dimension to this process. When people express feelings through art, the brain is able to process emotions in a nonverbal way. This can reduce emotional intensity and create a sense of release. Instead of holding stress internally, the mind externalizes it into form and color. This is one reason art is often used in therapeutic settings. It provides a safe channel for expression when words are not enough. But perhaps the most important discovery from neuroscience is this: the brain rewards creativity. Each time you create something new, the brain releases dopamine, a chemical associated with motivation, learning, and pleasure. This reward system encourages repetition, which in turn strengthens neural pathways. Over time, creativity becomes not just an activity, but a natural mental state. This is how art begins to change the brain. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly, through repetition and attention. A blank canvas is not just a surface to be filled. It is a training ground for the mind. Every brushstroke is a signal to the brain: focus, observe, adapt, and create. And in that process, something deeper happens. The mind becomes calmer, more present, more flexible, and little by little, through color and form, the brain learns a new way of being.